Episode 98, Hip Hop Pop. Introducing Jen and Vic Bater-Sinclair on the BTS Creative Academy podcast, Uncut, with me, your host, Martin Colton.
I'm just going to have a sip of water myself after that excitement.
I can't believe it. The face.
Oh man. Let's...
Well, if it happens again, at least you know.
Yeah, well, there is like a little block there that I'm supposed to like wedge the door with, but I just so excited to see you both that it was like, I saw you both and just gone the door and locked out.
I'm not sure where the wind come from. It was fine.
No.
But we did take our time walking.
Yeah.
So we're here. We're in the podcast.
Yes.
Thank you both for joining me. This is very cool. Very nice having you both here. I know you know about the little tradition that I've got. So before we start, we just start the podcast with a clap all together.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes, of course.
As you've invited dancers on, can we give you a 5, 6, 7, 8?
5, 6, 7, 8?
Yeah.
Of course. Well, I'm not a dancer, so what does that mean? What do I do?
We'll count 5, 6, 7, 8 and we'll go on 1.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
You're not going to say one though, are you?
No, we're going to clap.
5, 6, 7, 8, clap.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Should we try?
We'll try. We'll see what
try.
happens.
Go.
Yeah, go.
Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8. Was that the best one you've ever had?
I think that was special. That was
Because
good.
there's 3 of us.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
time is
Yeah, this is, and like I say, this is different. This is the first time that I'm sitting down having this kind of, I don't like to call them interviews, having a conversation
Yeah.
with 2.
Great.
With 2 people. Before I do a big one tomorrow, where I've got 7.
Amazing.
So
That's going to be cool.
this is a little
Really cool.
warm up for that one.
Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah, thanks
No,
for
I
having us.
hugely appreciate you 2 being here. You 2, within this town, you've got this huge thing that you've both created, hip hop pop, and it's such a big, what do we call it? Like a staple of the town. Is that the right word to use?
Well, that's very kind words to use.
It's this town wouldn't be what it is creatively and within the arts without hip hop pop.
Really?
It's such a
That's so
that's
lovely
very
that you
kind.
feel that way. I think that's
That
crazy.
might be the
isn't
nicest
it?
thing anybody's ever said about it.
no,
Oh,
because
that's
you got
crazy.
a big following. You're at all the major events that go on. I know this is just for me as an outsider,
Sure.
someone that's lived in the town. I look at what you're doing and I see people queuing up to kind of be part of it.
Oh,
Is that not what you?
Yeah, I mean-
what you see?
Yeah, I mean it's really busy and we're so lucky. Yeah, it's just I suppose we've just never really
I think
thought of it that way.
you don't take things for granted, but you sort of become numb to some of it at some point. So obviously over the years it has grown. We started with just 8 members.
Wow.
And now between 750 and 1,000 people train with us every week.
Yeah.
So when you say it like that, yeah, of course that feels amazing. But
Yeah.
I think
because
we feel the same from when we started to now.
Yeah.
I think because we've not changed, we feel the same. It's
Yeah.
sort of,
that's a good word.
you don't really see.
Because you're kind of in it all the
Yeah.
time, and again, I'm an outsider. I'm just someone in the town that's watching what you're doing. I'm interested in like what's going on within the arts in this town, but you're always doing something. You're always moving forward. It's almost like you've got this machine that just goes and goes and goes. Is that what it feels like to you?
We call that
It does.
Jenny.
We call that Jenny.
No, what we call it is that this is what happened. It started as just Jenny, and Jenny was over.
Are we going back to the beginning? Are we going back to the
We
beginning?
can go back if you want.
Let's go back. Let's go back. So,
All right, I'm going to give it in real brief.
okay.
Okay, so 2002, it wasn't never going to be a dance school. It was just going to be one show with friends, and that show was extreme fun and a chance to create. And there was more of a want to do something bigger. An open audition happened. More people got involved, and then people were like, "Why don't you start classes?" That was never the intention. Anyway, did a bit more training outside just to be able to deliver a couple of classes a week, and then it grew and grew to the point where one person can't run this kind of enterprise. Vic comes on board since 2007-ish. And that's when it really became a school and a business. And it's grown and grown, and now we've got a team of about 12 teachers. About 20 performers who work professionally. But our team of teachers are awesome. And I'm 40, you're... How old are you? 36?
We don't have to tell
37.
them. We don't have to tell people like that. Like, what are we telling them that for?
My point is, I'm not
young
getting.
Still. Yeah.
I feel young inside.
Yeah.
But it's just nice to have younger generations. I'll give an example of Alicia. She's a decade younger than us. One of our teachers, amazing choreographer as well. It's just nice to have that slight younger generation coming in as well.
Yeah,
I feel
they'll
like
bring fresh ideas and new ways of doing things, I guess.
So it's really thanks to Vic coming on board and then the team growing. Why it's just organically just.
So there's hip hop pop. I understand that there's also other parts to it as well. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is there something with a Michael Jackson tribute?
Yeah. So hip hop pop have been booked to provide dancers for Forever Jackson, which is a Michael Jackson tribute. We've been working with them since 2009.
Yeah.
I say them. Shout out to Robin Parsons who plays Michael. He's great. Okay. He's a great producer as well. So he's grown the show, and we've been lucky to be a part of that. Travel around the world with Robin, haven't we? Yeah. As well. We're just starting work with a new Ariana tribute show that's happening this week, and we're working with a 24 Karat Bruno show as well.
Yes. Yeah.
So what's nice is two things really. The dancers at the school have the opportunity to progress to the pro team if they get to that level, which is a great thing to aspire to be part of. And also, it's great that you can dance with your friends. So when we performed with Jackson when we was a little younger, it's just nice to do it with friendly people.
Yes, yeah.
It's not an open audition. You don't know who you're with. I know you make friendships, but it's just nice to have that opportunity to experience those things together with friends.
Yeah, and that's definitely, again, what I see from you is I see that you've got everyone that's part of Hip Hop Pop looks like they're a family, and they're all so close, don't they?
Yeah, we like to think that's how people feel. Yeah, we like to try and make sure everyone's involved. Everyone feels accepted, and we do feel like a big family, don't we?
Yeah, it's a safe place for people to go to. It's never been written that that's our objective, but that is what our place is.
Yeah,
everyone is
what
welcome.
We've become over the years as well. It's that place where people can just sort of can be who they want to be.
And that's such a wonderful thing to offer to people, isn't it? Yep. Besides the dancing, besides the thing that you're creating, you're giving people this space to have.
Yeah, and they do. We just did a show at the weekend, and just watching a lot of the students that have just formed these friendships and these such beautiful bonds that we've just witnessed over the weekend. It's been so lovely, hasn't it?
We're not just talking about children, we're talking about adults
as well. Yeah.
So what age do they start at, people that are part of it?
We've now got a toddler class, so we're teaching from like
birth.
Yeah.
Because I remember my daughter, she as soon as she could sort of get up, she wanted to move and dance, and it was like I saw it within her. Yeah. This dance and movement. Yeah. And I think that's the case with some people.
Absolutely,
it's primal.
Yeah,
movement and music is primal. And some kids have a natural urge when they're very young. But 18 months.
18 months up. Yeah. We teach.
You say we teach. Siobhan teaches that class. She's amazing with the little ones.
Really good. That up to. However old.
Our adult class is open to everyone.
80s, 90s.
Yeah,
if they can still stand.
We've got many generations in
adults
in
their 80s. Wow. We've got all ages, and it really doesn't matter. And that was beautiful over the weekend. So seeing all the adults together, making such a lovely little unit together. That means more to me than actually all the dancing. And it's very important, obviously. Yeah. But though seeing that is what makes my job worthwhile.
Why is that?
Just to see, especially when students come and they don't know anybody, their confidence is very low, and then you see them that they've formed this bond with other people, and they really come out of themselves, and you just think, I've had a little part of helping that for that person to just find a friend or find someone somewhere they can sort of be themselves. That's the bit I love. Yeah, I love that.
As you can tell, Vic's the heart of the company.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're the brain.
No, I call it the brain.
She is the brain. Jen's she's the dancer and the machine behind everything.
Just because I teach most of the classes, I'm normally the face of the class. Right, okay. But the heart is Vic. She looks after the members.
Yes. This is such a sweet little partnership that you've got.
It's great. Yeah.
This is lovely. And of course you're a couple, you're married, and you're a family yourself, and then you've got all of these people that you're welcoming into your world. And is this every day for you? Is this?
Yeah,
it is. We're trying to be better at that. We're trying to be better.
We're trying to be better to have a few days off and try and separate, because it does take over your life, and especially because we live together and we're together 24/7 to speak about something different other than work. We've got better than we get.
But isn't this a lovely thing to have for work?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, it's great. I wouldn't want it any other way.
No,
we're very, very lucky that to be doing this together for so long. I think it's brilliant. I don't think I know anyone else that's been able to have work together for so long.
I know.
Yeah, and it can be hard have a relationship, be a couple, like you say, because you're around each other all the time doing the business stuff.
Yeah.
It's then like, how do you make time for yourself?
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's good because we've got different roles in the company. You do yours, I do mine, and so we don't clash on things. We do work together really well.
Yeah, we've got better at organising our time to have some downtime.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
So where did this start for you then, Vic? Where was the beginning of dancing?
So I started dancing when I was really young, and that's where we met. We met at dance school when we were
So
younger.
you knew each other beforehand?
Yeah,
our mums knew each other.
Yeah, our mums knew each other.
Mum friends.
Yeah,
my
friends.
mum said, to your mum,
Jenny's going to a dance school, you should take Victoria to go. And then that's where it all started.
So there was like a partnership like there at quite a young age.
When we were young, and we were friends from a really young age. And we were friends for ages, weren't we?
Yep.
We never parted ways or anything. No. We just stuck together from the beginning. And then Jenny started up her own thing, and I followed her as well, being her friend, and was in the first show that you did.
She was.
And then just stuck by your side.
Couldn't
get rid of me, like bad smell.
It's really interesting, isn't it? I thought we were going to sit here and talk about like these two paths that are totally separate, that then come together. But it sounds like it's always been
in the cards,
one path.
Yep.
One journey all along.
Yeah. Do you know what? I've never really thought about it like that. But it's so true. And I think that's crazy that we always say this. It's crazy that if my mum and your mum hadn't worked together, where would I be? We would never have met.
Yeah, I know.
And it's just madness. So I do always think things happen for a reason. But I think.
But you came on board.
I came on board after the first show. Yeah.
So,
and you just said, would you like to come? And I did start teaching originally.
You did, yeah.
That's not really where I'm best placed, confidence-wise.
She's a great teacher.
I like to do all the other stuff around, the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah. Super organised, this one.
Oh, yeah.
Ship shape.
Probably on the OCD level. But yeah.
So when was there a moment where you was like, okay, so I've done this for fun. I've done this, like I brought friends together for this show that I just want to put it on. But now I can actually transform this into a business. Where was that? How did that transition kind of happen?
I don't even know if there was.
Because it's quite hard, isn't it? I think a lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah,
it is.
Because life gets in the way as well.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Absolutely. I think firstly there was the demand. So obviously we'd done the 2 shows, and people were asking for the classes.
There was literally people saying, I want this, I want to be involved.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And the first classes we couldn't fit everybody in. We wasn't expecting the turn up that we had, and it was just mobbed. It was crazy. So that was a sign that this is something that needs to be looked at properly. And then shout out to Phil Dow as well. At the time I was working at the Playhouse when he was there, and he helped me transition over to getting a deal with the studios and how it was going to work, and supported me in trying something new as well. So
that's important, isn't it, when you've got something like this and someone kind of looks after you?
100%.
Yeah. What did he kind of do for you then to kind of look after and make sure?
Not even in his role at the Playhouse, just as Phil.
Just as a friend.
Just as just words of encouragement, and I look up to Phil, still do. And then with his role at the Playhouse, just sorting me out some studio time, not for free, obviously I'll pay for it. Don't want to get in trouble. But just setting me up with my start.
The support that he gave you.
I think sometimes just that positive affirmation that's. You're
doing. Someone sort of saying you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Or at least saying you're not doing the wrong thing. Do you know what I mean?
That means something,
encouraging you, helping you in a way.
Maybe just giving you a little pat on the back.
Yes.
Yeah. So you took it from that. You had this lovely moment of people asking to be involved, and then was you always like business minded? Was you always like, because it is from what I'm looking at, it's a successful business.
Yes, it is.
So was there kind of some moment of you were like, you already had that in mind to make a successful? Was there a business plan? Did you sit down and write something?
No, this is the thing, because it all happened organically until we became two limited companies, and it was just a sole trader. There was demand for that, so we'll add that bit. There's demand for that, we'll add that bit. That was just sort of, I was winging it. Other than taking the teaching seriously and learning more about teaching, the business just grew organically. But then obviously when it got to a certain point, then okay, we're actually a business. Actually, we're two businesses now. We need to do this and this, and that's where it became more serious.
And I guess that's where you started to take your own individual strengths.
Yeah.
As 100%. Well.
Yeah. I lead more in control as well. We've got a schools club company as well.
You're the director.
So I deal with all of that mainly. So
what is the schools club?
So we run clubs for breakfast clubs and after school clubs for kids in primary schools. So I take lead on organising that and hiring our tutors to send them out. So we do a lot of that as well. So we separate off in different ways, don't we? For different jobs.
We both do stuff for both companies, but Vic's the director of the schools clubs company, and I'm the director of Hip Hop Pop Limited. So we've got our focuses, but we help each other out with both sides.
You've got a lot of things that you're juggling.
Yeah.
How do you make sure you don't drop a ball? How do you make sure you don't?
Well, we help each other, don't we?
Yes.
So because we've both got strengths and weaknesses in different areas. So I'll help Jenny with the main school on memberships and things like that. You'll help me with choreography for things like our schools club. So we just help each other out in little bits, and we know what bits are ours.
I'd like to say that our strengths, both of us, are project managing. So anything to do with the arts aside, that organisational side, I think that's both of our strengths, isn't it? Yeah.
So going on to the art side of it, they'll come away from business a bit. So more like to do the creative side. What's your process like with that when you do these shows? Because they're quite big, aren't they? They've become quite a big thing. Like I saw a post that you've done. You've just had like this. What do you call it? Like a showcase?
Showcase, yeah.
Yeah. How many people are involved with that?
It was 210 in total. Two casts, obviously, not on the stage at the same time.
Yeah, we split them up.
But
in the same night.
We did two. We did two on the Saturday, two on the Sunday, matinee and an evening, both days.
Yeah.
And we have two casts, and then we swap them over, and they do one each.
Okay.
And they do one day. So two shows, but on a day each, so they get a bit of a break.
Yeah, we do two types of productions. So one's a showcase where it's for everybody at the school over age 6, no matter how long they've been coming, and they can showcase what they've been learning. So it's a great opportunity for the parents and the adults to see what they've been learning, because obviously they're shut in a studio.
Yes.
They can show them what they learn at home, but for it to make sense in a show and have that opportunity to perform on stage. I mean, when you're young, it's just the most amazing thing.
It is,
just the little faces this weekend was just beautiful.
So tell me about some of them kids that it's the first time, or some of the adults.
Yeah.
It's the first time that they've been on that stage. What's that experience like?
Yeah, we've had quite a few that every year there's always a lot of the children that are really nervous. A few that get so close to the show and they don't think they can.
They want to back
out.
They want to back out. I've been there.
Yeah.
And like have you ever been there?
Absolutely.
Still sometimes
do. Yeah.
100%. And their confidence is completely gone, but they've pushed themselves, and we've helped encourage them to go for it, and they've done it. And then seeing them after the show, they're just completely different children or
what do you
adults.
think it is that changes us from that moment of oh shit, like this is going to be the worst thing that I could ever possibly do, it's horror, isn't it? Like we've all been there. I'm thinking about a time when I was stood out the back here waiting to come on, thinking like, I can't do this, I can't do it. And then after that show later on the night, I was like, that was the best night of my life. Where does it change?
I don't think you can, if you've never been on the stage and you've never been a performer, I don't think you will ever understand that feeling of being on the stage. And I think once you do get that first one under your belt and you get that feeling, you get a bug. And it's that...
the theatre bug.
Like just that feeling of being on stage and the audience, and then just the environment of all the people you're around, being backstage, just the lights, everything. There's no feeling like it. And I think once you get that, then you're hooked and you're like, there's your confidence.
But that's it. And you hit on an important thing there. There is the moment of the lights and the being on stage and the audience, but there is stuff going on around outside.
Yeah, it's the back, it's everything.
Backstage, it's the rehearsals, it's the family.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. We say a lot of the times on the showcases, because in classes and things, you know, the kids and the adults, they don't have a lot of time to chat. They're there, they're learning. It's not like, it's social, but they can't just sit down and have a little gym wag. Yeah. So, but on shows, they get that downtime together in between things, and that's where they really bond. Yeah. So it's a whole experience. It's not just being on the stage and doing the performance. It's the whole bit around it, and I think that's what helps them and gets them through it.
Although, can I just say, we did a little G up before the show with all the cast were there, and I say we call them the little ones, but they're 6 to 9, 6 to 9, and I was asking them what they remember about being in the theatre, and I was expecting them to repeat the rules back about don't touch the wings, stay back, be quiet, you know. But they started bringing out these affirmations. They were going things like the stuff we've gone through in class and rehearsal, like doesn't matter if you go wrong, you know, keep smiling, keep moving, give your fellow dancer a high five, do this, and they're just getting like rounds of applause from like all of the rest of the cast, because these little 6-year-olds are just coming out with these brilliant little
it sounds beautiful,
nuggets,
which is nice. That's what we try not to be as well. We try not to be strict with them, and
it's about the enjoyment.
And really focus on that for them. And it's not about getting it right, and it's not about being the best. And you know, there's just a certain group of people that are the best. They're always there. We just want everyone to feel the best. Yeah. Everyone gets the chance.
And it shows that they took that in.
Yeah.
Like you got that back. It shows that they really were listening.
Yeah. It was beautiful. I loved it.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. It does make you smile, doesn't it? Yeah, it's nice.
I had to stop it in the end because they kept putting their hand up for more.
Now I need the sensible answers about the fire safety and all that. All the stuff you have to go through. So how do you even keep all that part of it, like the sensible side? Because everyone's just like having so much like fun.
I think we've got a nice mix.
It's a nice mix. They've got respect for the teachers.
I think they've really
a lot of respect for the teachers and the team. Really lovely students of all ages. But I think that we just encourage positive behaviour. We encourage just trying hard. They're the two main things really, and I think that then just comes out naturally when you're trying to organise something. If you need their attention, you only have to say something, and they're with you. They just want to be with you.
Yeah.
It's nice.
There's something in that, like you're building some kind of natural respect. Not forcing the respect. You know, there's a lot of wonderful school teachers out there. So I'm putting school teachers down, but sometimes at school you're forced to have respect for a teacher. And it doesn't sound like you're trying to give that false, like you must do what I say. It's kind of like join this community.
Exactly. I don't think shouting or being that strict always is helpful. You do have to have a level of
of course, for safety and
protocols and strictness here and there, but I think we've got a nice, especially Jen. I mean, Jen teaches the kids face to face. I see them a lot and I deal with them all the time, but I don't physically teach them. And the way Jen is with the kids and the adults, she's just got this great way of getting through to them. I've never heard Jen even raise her voice, not once in the whole. Never had to. Yeah, hopefully you'd never have to. But she's got this way which she doesn't need to, and the students respect you for that.
And that's not just me; it's the other teachers as well.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, and the company wouldn't be what it is without all of the teachers we've got. They all give a little something, don't they? They've helped build this. That they're amazing,
and they've all trained in their own ways, but also done a bit of training for us, so they know our ethos and the way we work. So I think that's why it works.
That was going to be my next question. How do you pick the right people to come on board, like to
it's
be
hard.
Part of the it's a brand. How do you pick? And you've got you want it to be represented in the
Yeah.
right way.
It is hard. We are very selective. We like to have the right fit. They've just got to.
We learn more and more. It's got to be the right person.
Yeah, it's
They've
more
got to
about
be
the
really
person.
personable. Just a good person inside.
That's
I mean, I think that's
really
more
what you
important
look
than
for.
any skill, because we can share skills. Skills
Yeah.
are easy to share.
They can be taught anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to be a good person, that's what we look for.
Inspirational in different ways, whether that's just in their personality or in their experience of what they've got and they bring to the class, or their creativity in the class.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're looking for a certain skill set, but I think once you get to a certain base level of skill set, working together with them, so we both get our objectives across, will come. But like I say, the character of the person is, I'd say, 75% of the importance,
absolutely, yeah.
Do you ever get it wrong?
Yeah. I mean, over the years we've had things that haven't been exactly as we'd hoped.
Yeah.
But I'd like to think we're in a good place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things happen, don't they? You can tick all the boxes and then something just comes out of nowhere sometimes. So you just, you live and learn, don't you?
You can't control
everything. How do you learn from it, and what does that kind of process look like?
I think it's and I don't know if you'll agree, but I'm quite a control freak, and it's it's a case of learning that you can't control everything. You can't control how everybody delivers something or how everybody is. So I think just trying to understand people, what their needs are, and try and match them with yours. And if it don't work, move on. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. You can only try your best. And but luckily we've not had any dramas or anything. It's just
It doesn't work.
Life sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah,
like I say, we're in a good place. Great team of teachers, all bringing a different element, completely different teachers actually, all of them teaching in a different way, but with the same objective.
What is the objective?
Fun.
just fun.
Fun's
fun,
first.
but okay.
Fun. Our ethos is fun, safe, and educational. But when I say educational, I mean authentic street dance.
Yeah.
So, what's important to me is our niche. There's many brilliant dance schools around the town, and I think there's not a need for another one that does everything. So I'd like to focus in on one thing, and I'd like to say if they want to do authentic street dance, we'll be able to offer that. And I really think that we do that really well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think so.
For someone that's as clueless as me, what is authentic street dance?
So,
it's a very good question, because obviously we're called hip hop pop, and a lot of people will say, "Oh, you do hip hop," but hip hop is just a tiny part of street dance. It's not tiny; it's a huge part, but it's just a part of it. I'll let you explain it.
Yeah, sure. He was doing great. So street dance is like an umbrella term for social and vernacular styles. So things that are created naturally from social scenarios like parties or music videos or things like that. And from the streets back in the 70s, sort of all started with breaking, up rocking, top rocking, progressed to hip hop and house. And then the other side of America, you've got funk styles like locking and popping, but they're all created naturally.
Right. Okay.
And then
when you say created naturally, what, just through people getting together and enjoying
it?
Parties,
like literally people just going, I like the music, this is how it makes me move.
Yeah, that's one element of it.
Okay.
But just like, for example, I just love how natural all of this is. Like the hip hop music and the break beat that b-boys and b-girls, so break boys and break girls, would dance to, was just because some DJ decided one day, his name's DJ Cool Herc, to put the same record on the decks and find that, you've got the instrumental break in a song and just loop it round and round. So it gave the dancers, they noticed that the dancers were dancing more to this break than any part of the song. That you just repeat it, and then the dancers would create this cipher circle, and they'd be going in a circle, and these moves would be created. I don't know. Wow. I just love how
like something's come from one moment, one moment in time, one little idea has sparked all of a whole generation of new dance.
And then now, obviously, it's taught. Everything's got a name. As it's progressed, it's got a name. The pioneers of it, because it was only from the 70s, 80s, are still around now and still teach it, and I love that. So teaching not the history, like as in like a sit down written lesson, but teaching why things are called what they're called, why it's performed that way. I think it's really important as well, not just coming to a dance class and learning a routine. You're learning a routine because it's got X, Y, and Z in it, and this is why those moves are there.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what the showcases are about as well.
Yeah.
We make sure it's in sections, so it's all the styles, and then all the moves are broken down, and the parents and everyone can see what these moves are that are being taught, and that they've actually learnt something as well along the way.
Yeah, so for example, like the showcase, like you were saying, it had a hip-hop section, house, and a lock-in section. So 3 styles of street dance. And the first section, the hip-hop section, some of the advanced adults would come on and do little demonstrations of the foundation steps, and they would come up on the screen what they're called.
Right.
So when the kids come out and do their routines, in the background on the screen it'd say this routine's name, and then it'd say foundations performed. So when they do the dance, and the parents aren't just watching a dance, they're going, oh, they're doing that because it's got...
start to understand it.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about why that's important for the people on the stage.
What do you mean?
The understanding the education of what they're doing,
I think,
and the reason and the history, and
100%. I think anybody is more confident and happy if they've got a depth of knowledge in something. So no one wants to be an imposter, no matter if you're 4 years old or an adult.
And we get an imposter syndrome, don't we?
100%.
We get it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think there's anyone that doesn't.
No.
Do you get it?
I have it right now.
Yeah. I get like I'm nearly up to 100 of these, and like it's like every now and then a little voice in my head goes, "What the hell are you doing here, Martin?"
That's amazing.
I'm telling you, Martin, that is my life.
Yeah.
I live as an imposter.
But is that not being humble as well? Do you think?
Yes. Yeah. I guess
So,
I guess there's more of a problem when we stop doing that, isn't it?
yes.
More of a
That's so
problem
true.
when we start going, I'm
Yeah.
the greatest, and I'm
Yeah,
the best. And that's when
exactly.
you start to go, you're not actually.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But going back to your question, I think that it's important to have a depth of knowledge to feel confident in something, and as a child, they're going to want to feel confident,
yeah.
as well as creativity. If you understand something enough, you can create stuff with it yourself. So, for example, say a foundation step. I don't know, it's a move called the Smurf, right? Some very strange names. Like the children wouldn't just learn one way of doing the Smurf. I'm going to teach them every which way there is possible, and ask them to explore other ways of doing the Smurf. So, because it's a social style, it's not like a strict box.
Yeah.
Once you've got the move, you can just create with it, and I think
Then they've got the tools to be able to do their thing.
Exactly.
And whether that's their thing right now or in 10 years' time,
Yep.
like I guess that's the thing, isn't it?
100%.
I guess you're giving them this little spark
Yeah.
right now that they can go and ignite something new with.
Yeah.
There's a pioneer who is one of the originators of the style called lock-in, Don Campbell Lock. He's no longer with us, but his phrase, I think, sums it up. As a pioneer, obviously you could be quite precious about your style, but he said, I want you to take my dance and I want you to make it yours. And I think that just sums up what street dance is.
Yeah.
Because it has its foundations, but it's so open to interpretation and creativity.
Yeah.
So what are your hopes then for your students? What is it you want for them?
Can I answer that?
Well, what I hope for mainly is it builds some confidence, and it brings them in a social bubble. I don't know if bubble's the right word, but
You're in a group. You're like in a community, aren't you? You're
where they feel safe and they can come every week, and they've just got this base. I know from us when we were kids, just having dancing, that was our thing, and we're still all together now, aren't we? So it's lovely. So just to be able to create that for kids and adults, to have that space and to continue doing that, and obviously learning the street dance as well, but it is, for me, building that confidence for kids.
That's the thing. There is so many different objectives to it, because some people just want to do it for a hobby or just to keep fit, and that's absolutely fine.
And
We can
actually, a
provide
lot
that
of
for you.
people just want to do it for a hobby.
Yeah.
There's a huge
It's a great
majority.
hobby.
Yeah.
And it's and I think that's great.
It's so good for physical health, mental health, in many different ways. I mean, it helps with fast-paced decision making. It helps with supposedly creates new neural pathways in your brain. There's so many benefits to dance. It's just the outcomes are endless. But
and it's almost unmeasurable, isn't it?
Yeah.
All the stuff that I was recently talking to the manager of the Playhouse, Rory, on this, and we was talking about how do we measure these things?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time when we're trying to like get funding, do you guys ever try and get funding for anything?
We have in the past for things, yeah.
And a lot of the time we're asked like, how do you measure the outcome? But it's so vast and so varied, and sometimes them outcomes might not happen for years.
Yeah.
Like you're giving someone an idea now that then happens later on.
Yeah, exactly. And I think
that is hard to measure.
Giving, with what you've learnt of everything with street dance and all of your knowledge, giving those to the kids, it's so good for those children if they do want to take it seriously, dancing in the future. They've got so much knowledge before they go into college about street dance. I think that's... I mean, we didn't know anything about it. We danced for years and we didn't know anything about street dance. So to give all those kids that knowledge before they even go into college and dance schools.
So if they do want to take it as a professional route,
they've got such a big knowledge already.
You're giving them a foundation that they wouldn't necessarily have.
Yeah. I mean, obviously in colleges there's going to be classical styles. A lot of colleges now are doing much more commercial styles or vernacular type styles, which is great. I think it's awesome.
Really good.
Obviously musical theatre as well. But just to have that background just gives them even as just a leg up in, and then they get their classical styles there. I mean, the amount of students we've had train with us as a youngster, then go on to college and just blossom because they got the understanding of that. Now they just need the classical styles, get their lines right, and off they go. It's just great. But the outcomes are varied, whether that's for confidence, whether that's for fun, or whether they want to turn pro. That's the opportunity.
Yeah. You also mentioned something right at the beginning of this part of the conversation about community and like the people that you knew when you were younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still connect. So when you were younger at a dance group, obviously the two of you have stuck together, but there are others.
Yeah, a lot of our friends, we still dance together now. A lot of them have gone off and had babies.
Of course.
But a lot of them we're still together, still dancing, still friends. And even if they're not dancing anymore, still the best of friends. So I think when you have a connection with someone like dance or acting or theatre or tennis or anything really, any sort of sport or something you do outside of school, you've got a love for something together and you've got a passion. And I think you're always going to connect on that. So I think you do stick together.
I think you still have the bug though, because we did our 20th anniversary show last year before last. Oh my gosh, year before last.
So 20 years.
20
Of course, you said 2001. Was it? You said
2002. Yeah.
2002 it started. So wow.
Yeah, it's mad.
Years.
Wow. I didn't even like do the maths.
It's
like
mad.
when you
It's
said it,
crazy.
but then you're like,
It's
wow.
mad.
Time goes.
But yeah, some of
fast.
those friends came back and danced in that show as well, and
Really?
yeah, it's just,
that was so
I just
nice.
love that. It's great.
Yeah, that was really lovely.
Yeah, and some of them still come to class every week, so very lucky, really.
Yeah, and I hope that for people as well that come to dancing with us now, that 20, 30 years, however long down the line, they've still got these friends that they made at dancing outside of school. You know, it's sometimes people struggle to make friends in school. So when you find a friend or someone outside of school in a hobby you like, I just think, yeah, when
you're at school, I felt I was quite. I felt like I didn't fit in at school. I felt like I wasn't like, no one was the same as me. Everyone was a little bit different. Everyone was different to me and I was different to them. But then when I went to the Playhouse and found the theatre company there, I found people that were similar.
Yeah.
And that's the same with dancing.
That's exactly.
You find your people, don't you?
Yeah, you really do. You really do.
What was that like then when you went back to school and you found your people? Did you feel more confident back at school?
Definitely, and it wasn't, and it was like it stopped being an issue.
Yeah.
Right.
So it wasn't even it wasn't even
that's
a
so
thing anymore. It wasn't even like I don't know where I am in this world because I had that thing that I did after school. And so the same for people that find dancing like yourselves. And did you find that at all? Like you've always had your people as
Yeah,
absolutely.
just an extra layer. I used to play tennis back in the day when I used to dance as well, and I didn't have friendships in that. I mean, it's a very solo sport anyway.
Yes.
Didn't have friendships in that like I had in dancing. It was a completely different world.
Yeah.
So it's something about performing arts. Something about
do you
that.
know, it is, isn't
really
it? I think it's
connect
right.
people.
It's not. It is competitive in some areas and some genres, but I think it's not competitive like as tennis is. You're not really going to be spending the time with.
You don't need to be like number one.
Yeah.
And if you are number one in this, it probably won't work for you.
No, exactly.
Like, what would that look like? A number one dancer.
Well,
like,
it's
good at it.
Is that even a thing?
No, not really.
Not really. Not with us.
No, not that. Not
you compete against like other schools, don't there? Isn't there like competitions in other groups and things?
We've never competed.
Yeah.
We've been asked so many times.
Yeah.
I say we never. We entered a duo once because the two kids really wanted to do it, and we said we would help, but that wasn't as a dance school. That was more of a.
Because often you see similar groups to yourself on like Britain's Got Talent and things like that.
Yeah, we've been asked to do that a lot. It just, I don't know. I just think
there's a lot of pressure on that.
There is pressure,
and I think then there's a lot of pressure on that.
It's a different thing then, isn't it? All of a sudden.
Yeah, it becomes. It takes the fun element out of it. I think sometimes, and then it's the who do you pick and who don't you pick, and then it's putting that, and then you're all of a sudden those other people are going to feel bad because they've not been picked for this, and everyone deserves the opportunity. So it's hard.
You might have
not really the competition type of school, are we?
No,
really, it's not.
It doesn't fit with your.
It really does.
I can see like instantly as soon as we brought this up, it's like, how would that even work?
How would that work? Never pick or. Yeah.
What happens if you've got? I'm going to use random names. This is nobody in particular, but say you've got Sally, who is naturally gifted, who only turns up half the time. And then you've got Fred, who turns up every week and might not be as strong a dancer as them, but tries double as hard. How do you give that person a place in the crew and not that one?
Over the person.
Do you know what I mean? Even though you've got to use your best on stage, I don't know. This doesn't.
Yeah. See, this is interesting as well. This is where I see you two that you don't look at this as a business as such.
Yeah.
Like you clearly do because you're a successful business. But you're not being ruthless.
No.
And it could be very easy to be ruthless and go, I just want to build my brand big. Yeah. I just want a big poster with hip hop and you had to get bigger and bigger. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be so easy for you to do that.
It is a fine line between earning an okay living and it and it not being, I don't know.
Yeah. You could you're so right. You could be ruthless, you could do that, but I just as the people we are, I just wouldn't be able to sleep. I just would not be able to sleep.
Big takes work home.
I do take work home.
Yeah.
I really do. Yeah, I let it sit with me a lot, and I take things very to heart, and I really care for all of the students. I just want them to all be all right all the time, which can be draining.
Yeah.
But no, I don't. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think it's a great thing, and I just I've lost my train of thought now.
And you wouldn't be where you are if you had a different way.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just not in our nature to be that way. I don't think I would enjoy my job if we were that way. Yeah. I just don't think it would make it a nice place for us.
Here's a tough question then. So what would you be doing if you wasn't doing this?
Yeah, that's actually been a question in our minds for a year or so.
Because you could, more so for you because you said you can't dance forever. You're going to get older and your bones aren't going to be moving.
The school will always be the school.
Yes.
Regardless, that'll always be there. It's more of a case of what are our roles in it.
Yeah. What
would
the question
do
if it wasn't here?
Go on, you go first. I know what your answer is already.
I love what I do, and I'd work with animals. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
She volunteered at cat sanctuaries and stuff for a little while.
I do quite a bit of volunteering.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would go down that path. I think if this wasn't a thing.
You'd love that.
Yeah, I would love that.
Maybe one day you can do both that.
That would be nice.
Yeah, there'd be space in our life to do other stuff, but we've just got to work out how we're going to juggle it.
Exactly,
maybe find the right time.
Exactly, this is where we are now, and this is our focus. Yeah. But down the line,
Could you see yourself doing anything else other than this?
Well, I'd like to still have a hand in the arts side of things. So, a couple of things. I'm working with, Susie Corcoran?
Sure, I probably do.
She's got a show called Priscilla, Queen of the Disaster, which is all about motherhood. Okay. It's pretty incredible, so you should check it out.
I will.
But I've been helping her get a tour together really and produce that, and that's been good fun. So I do want to dabble a little bit more in producing, And today, actually, I had a call with the Royal Opera House. I'm going to help them with a project, producing a project for them, which interlinks with schools. It's like an outreach project.
Okay.
So I think using my skills
Mhm.
and then doing something still in the arts with that would keep me occupied and out of mischief.
Yeah. So we're moving into the future now a little bit. So what is the future looking like for hip hop pop? Is hip hop pop, like you said, it can continue?
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need to dance all the time.
No, so
you've built this machine that can keep going forward.
Yeah, that's the plan, to get it. It's almost at a point where if suddenly I couldn't dance anymore or things hurt too much, I could step away. I'm not quite there.
Yeah.
And the same with yourself, because you're front house most of the time.
Yeah.
I think in 5 years, the idea would be that we still run it and it grows, maybe some more classes and more students, great. But with us less being the face. So the brand is its own thing, and we've got a great team, which we already have, but more responsibility with them. And we just make sure everything runs as we would like it.
Yeah.
I think I've answered for both of us, but
I would never want to think that it would ever cease to exist. So we'd always
You've built
be
something
a part of it.
that's valuable enough, and you put so much into it that it can continue to grow as you move on.
I think it has such an importance I forget how much it has an importance for young people sometimes that come, that it can never go. Do you know what I mean? It has to be there. And I want it to grow. Me stepping back or you stepping back isn't me saying I want the company to reduce in size. I still want it to grow.
We're mainly just thinking like retirement. We're probably not.
I like hiking. I'd like to go on more hikes.
Yeah. So personally, what would you like to do more in your lives personally?
Go on, you go first. She's thinking cats.
I'd love.
Have you got cats?
Yes, got two cats. Yeah,
there's 4 in my home.
Is there? You lucky thing.
I don't even know it happened. It's my daughter. She gets round me. When she was young, she could just get round me.
Good
somehow.
for her. Good for her.
4 cats. They're there all of a sudden, and I'm like, what? What's
Where did these come from?
4 cats and a dog.
Oh, and you've got kids.
And kids.
So,
and
we've
kids.
just got 2 cats.
Yeah.
Because we have no kids. I think the only thing I would like is just more time, which everyone would like, more time to spend with family and friends. That's all that's extra that's missing in my weeks, really. But that's the thing.
I think that sums you up.
That's
actually.
the goal.
Family girl.
That's the goal, just to have that, and that's what it is for the future. I think just being able to take that little bit of a step back, not leaving it, but just taking that bit of a step back, so you can spend time with your friends and family. Because for me, that's my what do you call it? Preference? No, that's the word.
Any word?
That's what you like. That's what would be nice.
So the school and to have that time, that would be lovely.
How do you get that then?
I don't know really.
If we had the answers, we'd do it now.
I don't know. Yeah, we just take it bit by bit, don't we? Really,
I think we
try not to look too far ahead. We try to plan, obviously, as much as we can, but we try and just take it.
As long as you're making little steps forward all the time, even if it's a small one towards that end goal, it's something.
Yeah,
it's something.
Just see what happens. You just don't know what the next day is going to hold, so we try not to look too far ahead and just focus on. So this year ahead, what's this going to look like? Okay, let's do that, and this is where we'll try and spread our time.
Yeah,
I think that's the best way to do it, really.
We will get you that extra time. We'll get there.
And what about you? Do you want the extra time as well?
I do, because I love hiking. So I want to get all my...
Be out in nature.
Yeah, my really uncool clothes. I want to put them on.
Yes.
And I want to go walking around the country, wherever I can go. Yeah, taking pictures of nothing. Do you know what I mean? I just of scenery and bore people on Facebook with it. Do you know what I mean? No, honestly.
Do you both go? Do you do it together, or is this an escape moment?
I'm not the walker. I'm not much of a walker.
I'd love to walk with it.
See, we do have this thing. If we go to a city, or if we will go around London or anything, I will walk all day long. But if I am walking a mountain for the same 8 hours, seeing the same things, it's not for me. It's not for me.
I did get her up and down Snowdon.
I did go up and down Snowdon. I won't ever do it again.
Yeah.
But I did
You've
do
done
it.
it once.
I've done it once, but I won't do it again.
And that's really nice to show as well, that you can be compatible in so many areas of your life.
Yeah.
But you can still go off and do some individual things as well.
Oh yeah, we can be real polar opposite with some things, can't we?
Yeah.
So, and I think that's nice. I think you need that.
You've got to have
you
your
do
own thing.
need that,
Yeah.
especially when we're together all day, every day.
Yeah, so you can go off and
Well,
have a
you
nice
said that, I
walk.
went sure.
All day, every day. No, and so it's nice. You've got your thing, and I don't know what my thing is yet, but
You've got loads of things. You're just not putting them out your head right now.
Yeah, but no, but we like to do all these extra things, but it doesn't take away how much we love our company, and we just want to hopefully do it as long as we can.
Yeah.
As long as we can, because we enjoy it. We love being able to provide this space, and hopefully everybody there agrees that it's a lovely space. That's the goal. So, yeah.
What would you say to anyone that was looking to join hip hop? What would you say to them? Come in?
Oh, just start now. Don't be nervous. Because a lot
Because
of people.
that is very.
Don't
very,
be nervous. A lot of people have never danced before. I'm scared to start. That's a lot of like what the adults say, and kids that if they've never danced before, just don't worry. Just come along, have a trial, because once you just get in there and have a feel for it, it's not for everyone. You might come and go, actually street dance isn't for me. I fancy doing ballet. You could do something different, but just give it a go. Just give it a go, because it's such a. There's no pressure in the classes. There's you just come in, do your thing, pick up what you can, and we just build from there.
Yeah.
There's just absolutely no pressure.
Yeah.
And what if it is the greatest thing in your life, like it has been for you too?
Sorry, say that again.
What if?
for them.
What if?
If
yeah,
it
for
is the
them.
greatest
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Oh,
What if it is the
amazing.
greatest thing?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. What if it is just the next step thing that you've been missing? You know, and we find that with a lot with their students, but so much with the adults. Like a lot of the parents, we started like an adult class, and some of them just love it so much, and they've just got this new lease of life, and they tell you about it all the time. I just think this is incredible.
Their group
my mum could have
filled my
done that.
heart with joy this weekend.
Yeah, they were.
They looked like they were living their best life.
Really?
Yeah.
There was a Whitney remix to "I Want to Dance with Somebody." Right, it's a house remix, so we did house.
Of course.
And they were just there's little interacting moments in it, and their faces.
Yeah.
I don't know. We was all of us in the wings and the other groups, just in awe of the enjoyment that they were having.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was so nice.
But
Tell me more about that feeling when you're all there doing the thing.
Oh, it's so great. Well, actually, it just reminds me of when we do a warm up before every show, and just every group got up and they sort of picked a number they wanted to do together, and everyone had a go, and just the audience wasn't in. It was just the cast sitting in the auditorium and the other groups going on, and I was just sitting on the side, and I was just welling up, just watching all of the other students, like how much they were clapping and cheering for all the other groups, and I was just like, this, you can't get this.
No.
Like, if you could just bottle this up and just remember it every day, like, you just can't get that anywhere else. It was just so lovely.
I must admit, there's one
So
thing we did
great.
that's really unprofessional, but I don't even care.
Go on.
Oh, what did you do?
No.
This is being recorded.
Yeah.
Martin will know. You know the etiquette when you're in the wings?
Okay.
It's silence, right? It's silence when a performer's on stage. Now, I know it's not a piece of drama. It's a dance show. But my rule is no silence.
Yeah, we just...
Okay.
When the music's on and a group are on, you are, if you want to,
cheer
of course, you don't have to, but you are welcome to cheer them on, because I think, you know, it's not this. You want the show to be as professional as possible, but
Yes, yeah.
I think it's more important that you got that feeling of everyone's encouraging you.
What's that worry about being professional? What's that? How's that any different from what you're doing?
Because I want to teach the students as well about the etiquette of theatre, because I think it's important. Because if they want to go on and do other things or other groups, I'd hate for them to go to another group and they're like unruly backstage and they're like,
we normally
where did this student come from? Oh, hip hop again. It's not like that. It's they're so well behaved backstage, but when it comes to cheering,
just hear each other on, give each other the confidence. And,
100%.
and it does help, because you see other students cheering on other children on the stage, and they'll sort of look over and they'll be just beaming that their fellow students are cheering them
Especially
on
like
stage.
the older students are cheering
it.
the younger ones are like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I know we say it's a lot about fun, having fun, enjoying, and all this. Like, it's not all just like everyone just comes in and they're like,
Yeah, it sounds
"Rah!"
amazing.
It's just like
It's very
carnage.
organised, I promise.
It's like carnage everywhere. It's not. It is about having fun, but it is organised fun.
Yeah. But bear in mind.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
No, go.
I was going to say, bear in mind, music is loud, so
Yes.
the audience can't really
They can't
hear the
really
cheers,
hear
but
us
the cast
anyway.
can.
Is there something in the energy?
Yeah. 100%.
Is there something in the energy from that, and you're in the wings, you're cheering your friends on that are on the stage? Is there something that we give to them?
100%.
It has to be.
Yeah, 100%. There's a group of the adults when I was on the stage on the weekend, and some of the other adults, they come along to the other side of the stage to just cheer me on this side, and you instantly get this boost of just like it's just a feeling you get, and it pushes you further, and you get this more energy, and you just perform bigger, and it does work.
It's boost is the right word, I think, because dancing and performing, I think you might find it's intrinsically exciting and rewarding. But if you get a clap or someone cheers you on, it is a boost.
No.
And I know it's not all about, you don't do it for the claps, you don't do it for the cheers, but it's great.
No,
At the same
it's
time,
the best feeling in the
Can't
world,
beat
isn't it?
an audience clapping at the end of the show as well.
Yeah.
That's one of the best feelings.
Yeah.
And that goes back to the kids when they're nervous and they do their first show after they've done that, and they come off and they're just beaming from having a round of applause. Like,
telling them to be little sponges at the end, soak it all up.
Soak it all up.
It's funny, like in having all these conversations with people, I'm catching like certain different things that resonate in different areas of the arts, and this is something that I'm getting a lot. This kind of like this energy, that goes around, and almost. Are you guys spiritual at all?
A little bit.
Do you think that there's something else
I'm
going
open.
on?
Yeah,
that's what I like to say. I'm like I'm open
very
to
open
these
to it,
ideas,
yeah.
and I'm picking up a lot about this energy that when you're getting that clap from your friends and you're getting that. It gives you a boost. It really does feed through to you.
100%. Yeah, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, I think as long as it's not your only goal, then I think that's a really healthy thing to have. Really lovely thing to have. As long as that's not the only thing.
Because then it's something. The ego's there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just feeding. We said about that earlier, didn't we? When we're too overconfident.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
And that we're too like, we're the greatest. Then all of a sudden you start not being that great.
Oh, yeah.
And going back to the similar conversation, it's great to be nervous.
Yeah.
Do you still get nervous? I do.
100%.
Oh, every time. I said that to one of the children on the side of the stage at the weekend, and they said to me, I'm so nervous. I said, that's fine. Been doing this 25 years, I'm still nervous.
Yeah, and then nerves help you if you channel them.
Yeah.
They help you, don't they, those nerves?
Yeah.
Someone actually said to me about reframing the nerves as well, rather than being like a state of fear, transfer it into a state of excitement.
Yeah.
Because they actually feel exactly feel exactly the same. So it'd be like, so if you start to like talk to yourself a little bit and come away from the fear and talk about the excitement, it can actually be quite a good thing.
Yeah, it really can.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
So do you have anything that you give to your students before they're going to go on to help with that kind of thing? Do you have like a? I'm trying to get into like the place at the beginning of like your show. What's that like? Are you giving like a pep talk to get them in the mood?
We always do the pep talks.
There's always a pep talk.
And the group warm-ups and the cheering on, everybody performing for each other.
Yeah.
We always do a little walk round 10 minutes before the show, and especially the little ones, maybe there might be a high five row or... Do you know what I mean? Like, there's...
So you got like in this one you just said you've got 200 people to deal with. How do you make, like they're all individuals, aren't they?
Yeah.
So how do you make sure that 200 people are okay?
difficult, but...
So there's not... unfortunately, there's not one big room to put them all in together, which would be lovely, but we have to have them all separate in their groups.
Yeah.
And we're just, I don't know whether it's just because we're so lucky, and we've just got these lovely, wonderful students, but they just all seem to get on very well. We've got a lovely. We couldn't run shows without our chaperones. And our chaperones, they're just incredible. They give their time for nothing, and they're just amazing, and they sit and work with all the under age 16.
They're so encouraging as well.
It's so encouraging with them, and with the little ones, like we'll put some games out and colouring and things like that to do in between, so they can interact with each other a little bit more.
But I feel like because we do the bit in the warm up where they all come up and do a little bit each, we get a chance to talk to them as they're coming up and G them up and like congratulate them on how well they're doing. And obviously the walk round, or if we don't get a chance to walk round, Will at the Playhouse on DSM will let me do a backstage G up on the tannoy. Just little things like that, I think.
And when they come in, I'm always on the stage door. I like to talk to each student as they come through. Like, make sure I'm interacting with every single one as they go in.
I'm side of stage the whole time, G'ing them up as they go on.
And I'm guessing there's something also going on within their groups that they have.
Yeah.
Within their, because they're going to have their little bubbles.
Oh,
They're going to have their little
groups.
community friendship groups, and I'm guessing stuff is going on.
Yeah.
What does that kind of look like? Having been friendship groups in dance.
They've all got, I'd like to think that none of it's, because I know sometimes you can get groups and they become cliquey and they've got this group and they don't talk to that group. I think over the years that's probably happened once and we've squashed it straight away and said that doesn't happen here. We're all here together.
Chaperones are great at making sure people aren't left on their own.
Yeah, no one's left on their own.
And
they're just all, I'm hoping it's because of something that we've encouraged them to do, but they welcome other people, like new people start, and they'll start just forming little bonds, and it's like it's really beautiful to watch. Really lovely to watch.
We don't have to set anything, if that makes sense. In answer to your question, it just kind of happens naturally.
I suppose
why do you think that is?
I don't know. I mean, maybe good people attract good people. Not saying us, I'm just saying other children. Like, they're all wonderful people in their own rights, and they just, people come and go all the time. Maybe it's just that these people, they are just those sorts of people, and they just gel together, and that's when they stay. And
maybe they feel relaxed.
They feel relaxed
safe
around each other. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's lovely. It's really lovely to watch.
It.
Yeah, it's really lovely to watch. I mean, it's not always going to be perfect. There's always going to be, in the future you might get people come and, and it's not for them and they leave, or, but that's okay. I think we're just lucky. Yeah. I think we're really lucky, aren't we?
Nice.
The thing, when you sit down and actually sit and talk
and have a think about it.
Really think about it. You kind of think, you actually think, Jesus, that's really, really great. Like, because you're so wrapped up in it all the time. It's just get this, churning things out, onto the next thing, making sure this runs right, do this, do that. You don't actually sit down and think, oh wow, actually, that was great what just happened there. So this is really lovely, actually, just especially after the weekend we've just had, to be able to sit
and pause
and go, wow, all that good stuff that happened.
So many nice messages from parents in particular it's always about confidence grown. So many nice messages.
What type of things do they say?
Just saying, like, I can't believe the difference in so and so since they've been with you. They've only been with you 10 weeks, or this, that and the other. I can't believe they did that on stage. Would never have thought they would have gone on stage, or I don't know.
We saw them 4 years ago, and now we've watched them now, and seeing the difference. They've progressed so much, and even just when they get picked up at the end, and I'm seeing all the children out at the end, and watching some of the mums and dads just greeting their kids and giving them a hug, that just melts my heart.
Because it also helps with bonding outside of the group, doesn't it, with the family?
Yes.
There's not often opportunities to go and support a friend or family and do something. No. And actually, my daughter came to watch a show because one of her school friends was
lovely.
And she was just like, I just want to go and support my friend.
That's cool.
So nice. and that's strengthening their relationship. So there's like all these little circles of relationships building up, and it's also happening outside as well.
That's cool. Yeah, that's so cool. That's really good. Yeah, love that. There was a couple of parents actually. They brought their child, and it was their first show, and they were saying all their other kids do football and things like that, and none of them have ever done performing arts, and they were just like, we've never been to a performing arts show, we've never seen a dance show before, this has just opened so many doors for us. And so things like that, you just don't think, I suppose because we've been brought up in this, we've never known it otherwise, but a lot of people don't know.
No.
anything about the arts, really.
Yeah, we're lucky in
It's
a town to
lovely.
have this place and the Playhouse.
Yeah, we're so
Obviously,
lucky.
we're a resident company at the Playhouse, and they're just awesome. I think they provide a great night out, just as you guys. I mean, we've seen so many shows here as well.
Oh, I've seen so many shows.
But shout out to the Playhouse group and the techies. Like that show at the weekend run like to the minute every show. Like it was up bang on time. It was down within a minute. It's just it's just.
I do often feel like you can moan about the town that you live in, and there's things that aren't great about it, but actually the culture side of it is actually pretty good in this town, isn't it?
Yeah,
there is quite,
so.
and I've lived here all my life, and for a little while I started to feel like it was lacking, but I feel particularly over the last 4 or 5 years it's got this boost from somewhere.
Yeah, I agree. There's so many performing arts groups to choose from around the town, different types of performing arts.
That was another thing we was going to say as well. Actually, just jumping back, that we're street dance based.
Yeah,
and we do encourage our students if they want to go on to do further things, to go and do ballet, go and do all these other things, because they need to. If they want to take it seriously, they do need all the extra things. So we're not saying just come to us, you'll learn everything here. We're just street dance. Well, we do encourage the kids to go.
So as someone that's not a dancer at all, why is it important for someone to know all them other styles of dance?
If they want to be a professional,
even if they just wanted to be a professional in just your style.
So I mean that's a really good question, because
very good question.
You could spot a classically trained dancer from an unclassically trained. I mean, I think I could quite easily spot someone who's had that just a foundational level at least of classical training, like in ballet or jazz or modern. And sometimes you might get an open call for, it will say a hip hop job, and you'll turn up and it'll be more commercial with an influence of jazz. I don't know. And
I guess you're never going to know fully what jobs are available out there.
Exactly.
And if you say to yourself, right, I'm just going to be this narrow little tiny niche.
If you limit it, you're limiting your job opportunities. So if you can learn as much as you can, not only will it strengthen you as a dancer. Like I always agree, if I never did ballet, I would never be as strong a dancer as I was. I am. Don't dance as much anymore. But I've lost my train of thought again.
But the opportunities that opens it up from having these,
and it gives them more opportunity when they go to college. If they learn, if they go to different places.
Going back, I mean, I'm saying that spotting the difference between the two. Sometimes it wouldn't matter, but I'm just saying, you go to an open call, you don't know what you're going to get. If you have all of it, then you're equipped with all the tools. You can still specialise in one. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think if you've got all the tools in the toolbox, you're going to have a better chance.
Yeah.
So is it an industry that you would recommend to anyone to take seriously, and to say that there is a career opportunity there to have within
I would
dance?
say it's tough. I would say it's hard. The dance industry is hard because there's a lot of people out there. But I would never say give up. I'd say definitely go for it.
Go for it.
100%.
I think as long as you're
really put yourself into it 1,000%. Learn what you can. Go to college. Do all the things you need to do. 100% do it, because to live a life, to be able to work that as a career will be something I don't think they would ever regret.
I think as long as they are strong-minded in their what they want and who they are, I think that's important, because it's so easy to get swept up in the, oh my gosh, this job's amazing, I'm going to be working with this person, and they want something from you that you really don't want to give. Do you know what I mean? Like,
what could that look like?
I don't know, just the hours they expect you to do, maybe for no extra pay, or you've got to turn up. You've only just got the job, but you've got to turn up 7 a.m. tomorrow, and you're having a chance. I don't know. There's a lot expected. It's not the whole industry. Certain elements of the industry is very last minute, very quick. And I don't think people mean to take advantage, but I've heard a lot of stories from people that are at our company who have experience in those.
Well, in the entertainment industry as a whole, there is a lot of people taking advantage of.
Yeah, and I think it's important to know what
your
worth
is.
To
be have not a backbone, or like just a little bit of strength, to because you're going to go for a lot of auditions and you're going to get turned away. I mean, you might be lucky enough to never get turned away, but you're going to go to a lot of auditions and you will not always get them. and that can be really disheartening. So just to prepare yourself for those moments, it's not that you're not good enough. They could just be looking for something completely different.
Yeah, I guess understanding the process helps a lot. I think they used to help me a lot when I used to go to a lot of acting auditions.
Yeah.
And I understand, I have got family that are on the other side of the entertainment industry, like directors and writers and things. And so I understand it from their point of view rather than just an actor.
That's interesting.
So I always knew that there was a whole process going on that was nothing to do with me as a performer.
Yes.
There's nothing to do with my talent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the right fit, not the right look.
Yeah.
Not
Hair colour.
Yeah.
Eye colour. Anything.
So there's so many variations of what they're looking for.
Yeah.
That your talent or how good you are is quite low down, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So it is tough to go into this industry, because a lot of people are saying to us, we hear that, don't we? A lot of people that are out there auditioning for things, you know, there's a lot of people going for the same thing. But I think if you are that passionate and you really want it, then you should just go for it. You should definitely do it.
Yeah.
And what about anyone that's thinking, I want to start dance school. I've done a bit of dancing. I went to hip hop.
Yeah.
I want to be the next Jen and Vic. What would you say to them?
Go for it.
Go for it.
I'd just say, if you're going to do it properly.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure you know what you're doing before you do it. I'm always safety first, me.
Yeah, we've learned a lot
Get
over the years, so that would be my advice. Yeah, just
get your qualifications.
do it right.
Do it
from the
right.
start.
Be safe. Do things by the book, and just be a good egg.
Be a good person.
And go do it.
Share. Yeah. There's space for us all.
Yeah.
There is space for us all. I think if we all home in on what our strengths are, this town is huge.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Loads of
This world is huge, isn't it?
It's huge.
Yeah.
There's so many opportunities for so many people, and I think if you want to do it, go for it. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think the more schools, more performing arts schools there are, the better.
Yep.
Wonderful. So last question, because I think we've covered quite a lot here.
Yeah.
And it's quite a tough one. So if we were to get in a time machine right now and go back to young Jen and Vic, what advice would you give to them moving forward?
Go on, you go first.
Oh no, you'll have to go first.
What advice would I give? I would say, don't listen to everyone. Don't take on listen to everyone. Don't take on what everyone says as gospel. I think if you're passionate about something, you should just go for it anyway, and don't let anyone get in your way. Yeah.
Nice.
Big, deep.
I'm finding this question very hard. I've always been a worrier. Worry about everything, so maybe I'd have just told myself, just take a minute, it's going to be all right. It will work out. Just take a minute.
Yeah.
Just don't worry so much.
That's a good one.
I think that's what I would say to myself. Don't worry so much. I think that stopped me doing a lot in my life because I've just worried too much about it. So I think that's what I would say to myself. Don't worry about it. It'll be all right.
Back at you. What would you say?
What would I say? Yeah, good. Yeah, you throwing it back at me.
Yeah.
You can't do this. This isn't allowed. Hold on. This isn't how this game works. What would I say? Have more fun.
Yeah.
Have more fun. Don't take it too seriously.
That's a better one than mine. Can I change mine?
No, it's personal.
That's
a
a
good
great
one.
answer.
Yeah,
Don't
well, we
take
can
it
go to
too
the time
seriously.
machine together. We'll visit each other.
Great.
And,
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Don't take life too seriously. That's a great one.
Yeah, I think growing up, I thought things had to be a certain way, and
Yeah.
I took failures too hard for a long time.
Yeah.
Because I was taking it so seriously. And now I'm just having fun.
Yeah.
I can see.
Right.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah. And I can see, and you guys are having fun.
Yeah.
And I think
Choose
that's
the happy.
Yes,
Yeah.
choose happy.
Choose the
choose the
happy.
happy. These are great notes to leave it on.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
thank
thank
you
you for
so
having us.
much.
I'm very sorry
No.
if I've just waffled because
no, we'll just waffle. That's
I'm
the
not
beauty.
really the chatter. It's usually Jen.
That's what I think the beauty. That's why I like. I like listening to podcasts, and I like the podcasts that are just natural, authentic conversations.
Yeah.
Within there, there's nuggets. Within there, there's moments. Yes, we waffle.
It's
But
great.
we're human beings,
Yeah.
you know. We're human beings. So thank you for joining me, Jen and Vic.
Pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
Pop. And thank you to anyone that was watching or listening.
Yeah.
We appreciate you joining the conversation and staying all the way to the end. If you'd like to find out more about the BTS Creative Academy, you know what you should do? Search
BTS Creative Academy on your Spotify.
on everything, on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, it's on the lot. And like and subscribe so that they can find future conversations.
100%.
Thanks again, guys.
Thank
Wicked.
you.
I appreciate you both. Thank you.
Brilliant.
So good.
Oh, that was so nice.